Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 22 reboot. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Atlanta Falcons. And my personal opinion of the Atlanta Falcons, they're a very, very good team whenever Cordero Patterson is playing, in my personal opinion. When he's not playing, go look at the Patriots and Falcons game. You'll see that it's 25-0 for a reason because Cordero was not playing. Cordero Patterson is so underrated. Like, he is not that good to most people, but he could run, he can catch, he is so good after the catch. He is very versatile, and he is very, very good player. A very underrated team with them. This team isn't bad. Looking at the roster, it does look kind of bad, but overall, they're underrated. Do I think they're a playoff team? No, I do not think they're a playoff team, especially in the NFC. In the AFC, I could potentially see them being a 6th or 7th seed, but in the NFC, no chance are they going to make the playoffs. But a still very, very underrated team. Matt Ryan is getting to an older age, but he's still not bad. Matt Ryan is still a very solid QB. People can still call him washed. It's like, what do you expect him to do with Calvin Ridley on a mental health break? Julio Jones is non-existent anymore. Kyle Pitts has been solid, but you can't expect a rookie to do it all for you. Cordero Patterson has been carrying this offense along with Matt Ryan. That is my personal opinion of it. Mike Davis is absolute hot garbage. Their O-line is hot garbage. Chris Lindstrom and Jake Matthews are solid, but they're nothing special, really. I mean, Chris Lindstrom has the potential, but Jake Matthews is just like, in my opinion. He's nothing ridiculous, but again, this team is very underrated. I feel like this team could go a long way in the future if they just work out some of these contracts. Some of these contracts are terrible, and I'm going to need to trade away some of these players. So let's move into it. So first things first with this roster, Matt Ryan. In real life, he is a solid QB. In Madden, he is not good. 36 years old, normal dev, he will regress despite winning MVP. If this dude wins MVP and puts up 7,000 yards in a season and 70 touchdowns, the computer will be like, yeah, that's cool and all, but it doesn't matter. -2 overall. Like, that's how EA regression system works, and I can't handle it. Also, this absolute garbage, and I mean garbage contract. Hold up. Did my computer just start out of nowhere? No, it didn't. It started raining outside of my house. I was like, why is there a weird sound? But that's raining. That's cool. Anyways, $48 million a year for an 82 overall quarterback. He's being paid as much as Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes does not get paid $50 million a year. He took a pay cut so that way he can have an offensive line and doesn't run for his life every down. But he's being paid as much as Patrick Mahomes. Do you think Matt Ryan deserves to be paid as much as Patrick Mahomes? I don't think so. Anyways, Matt Ryan, again, is a great QB. $26.9 million, that's a reasonable contract for someone of Matt Ryan, but $48 million a year in 2022 and $23 million a year, and then $43 million a year in 2023, no thanks. I'm not having Matt Ryan on my team after the season. I'm going to keep him for now because he's my only option, but, like, do we start Josh Rosen, actually? A lot of people believe that Josh Rosen deserves a second chance in the NFL. I actually want to do this. I'm going to keep Matt Ryan. Or do I trade him because he's an 82? I might want to trade him just because he's an 82 overall. People might disagree with me on this. Why is Calvin Ridley not a superstar development player? He should be. Russell Gage should be a higher overall, in my opinion. I'm going to start Josh Rosen. A lot of people believe he deserves a second chance. I'm going to give him that second chance. Cordero Patterson should have superstar dev. This dude is an absolute freak. He's 30 years old, though. So he's a freak in real life. But again, in Madden, he has zero value. I can't do anything about that. I know there's Falcons fans watching this right now. Oh my God, Matt Ryan, you benched him you benched him for Josh Rosen. Like, so many people believe that Josh Rosen deserves a second chance, so I'm going to give him that second chance here. If he does not perform, I'm drafting a QB. Next on our list, Matt Hennessy and Chris Lindstrom, very young, like them. Caleb McGarry, Jalen Mayfield, Jake Matthews. This contract pisses me off so much. Is he a solid player? Yes. Am I willing to pay him $23 million a year? No, I'm not. I understand left tackle is the second highest paid position in the NFL, but I'm not paying an offensive lineman $23 million a year unless you're Quentin Nelson. Unless you're Quentin Nelson, Zach Martin, or any of the top offensive linemen, you're not getting paid $23 million a year. You don't even have superstar development. You're not even an 85 overall. Your highest overall is an 81, and it's going to continue to go down throughout this rebuild. I'm just not going to pay him. I'm not paying him. He's being traded. Matt Ryan, I'm so stumped on Matt Ryan. I know a lot of people are going to hate me trading away, especially after I just talked him up. But in Madden, do realize that this is not real life. In Madden, he has absolutely zero value to me. He is so unbelievably worthless to me in Madden. Kyle Pitts already has Superstar X Factor. We know that. I know that from my Falcons franchise series. So if you guys are an Atlanta Falcons fan, go check out my Atlanta Falcons rebuild. I did keep Matt Ryan for a little bit and Jake Matthews. Hayden Hurst, though, I don't need 2 tight ends. I'll keep him for the first year, I believe, but other than that, no. The worst contract on this team, though, Dante Fowler Jr., 73 overall, starts regression in the next year. I am not paying you $19 million a year to be a 73 overall normal development edge rusher. That is one of the worst contracts I've seen in a long, long time. I don't know why they would ever willingly pay him that. It was an absolutely terrible deal. I switched the scheme up here because I like this better. Marlon Davidson, is he left end now? He is a left end. He used to be a defensive tackle. Just terrible. AJ Terrell's been a boss this year. AJ Terrell. You got Island Terrell here, is what I'm going to call him. Island Terrell. Really, really good this year. Very good second-year player. Forward side of Luwakan, I'm going to move to left outside linebacker just because I want him to get his reps in. Just be a little bit more useful other than just be a second-string middle other than be a second-string middle linebacker. He came out of Yale, too. Didn't know that. Super sick dude. Yeah, again, Dante Fowler, Matt Ryan, and Jake Matthews are just off the team. I know I'm going to take a big cap hit, but I just can't have them on my team. I was going to go to the Broncos. Did the Bears want them? Buccaneers, not giving them to the Buccaneers. I got to give them to someone realistic. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I will see you guys whenever I've traded him. Okay, I didn't expect that to just go straight through like that. So we're getting football team's first round pick and their second round pick for Matt Ryan, Dante Fowler Jr., and Jake Matthews. Again, their contracts are terrible. I love you, Matt Ryan. I really do. And a lot of you guys are probably like, oh my God, this is so unrealistic. It's like in Madden, it's not realistic. In real life, yes, it kind of is. I'm not paying this. It's just such a terrible contract. I can't emphasize it enough. Anyways, let's look into the rest of the team. We got Josh Rosen here. AJ McCarron is here, so I won't have to. I'm going to remove Colin Kaepernick from the game probably because he pisses me off every year that he's in the game. He shouldn't be in the game. And yeah, actually, since we have three QBs, I won't need to worry about Colin Kaepernick being auto-signed. Where's Cordell Patterson? I want him to be my back all the time, despite if he's a power back or not. Everything here looks pretty good to me, so apart from that, guys, enough of me rambling on about how underrated the Falcons team is. Let's just move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 3-3, bottom of the division. Not really a surprise there. I mean, we do have Josh Rosen on the QB. Again, a bunch of people said he deserves a second chance, so I'm giving it to him here. And weekly awards. We actually have weekly awards here. Who won last? Josh Rosen had 5 passing touchdowns, 342 yards, and 28 for 38. He deserves a second chance. 5 passing touchdowns against the Dolphins. Oh, he's not the future. You shouldn't have traded away Matt Ryan. Yeah, below me, dude. Cordell Patterson. In real life, yes, he is getting signed. In the game, he has no value. Being 30 years old and normal dev, he is going to be nailed by regression. I don't know what to tell you. Young Wei Koo, you can pick up a cheaper kicker in free agency, but I'm going to try my best to try and keep this with the Falcons viewers not blowing up at me because I always have some 8-year-old in my comments oh my God. I had some Cowboys commenters saying, oh my God, you refer to us as the Cowgirls. It's bro, it's a joke. Nobody can take one nowadays. Russell Gage, I am going to keep on this team. I'm going to stop complaining about everyone being super sensitive. If you don't like my content, you don't have to comment something. You can just simply say, I don't like it, and leave the video. Anyways, Hayden Hurst, I'm not going to re-sign him. Therefore, I'm going to trade him away. I know I said I was going to keep him. I didn't know he was in his contract deal. So let's up and out of here with him. What can we possibly get for this guy? Brian Bulaga? No. Jared Cook, imagine. Joseph D. Ford, Kenneth Murray would be... Henry Ruggs, nice. He's a real bolt, if you know what I mean, running at 156 miles per hour. Asante Samuel, Nasir Adelius. All these are just gross. So can I just steal a second round pick from you? Is that a possibility? Yeah, second round pick for Hayden Hurst. That's surprising. Didn't really expect that. But we got that. Thomas Morstead, no. Isaiah Oliver. Any free agents that the CPU signed? Nope. Okay, cool. That's all good with me. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it is time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, not making the playoffs, coming off a 52-14 win against the Saints, who finished 10-7. Did they make the playoffs or did they miss it? They made the playoffs at the 6th seed. We were the only only team in our division that did not make the playoffs, finishing at 7-10. Was Josh Rosen just up and down? Because just getting a fifth, Josh Rosen was great. 24th best offense in the NFL, 20th best defense. Wow. Josh Rosen was really, really good. That should be a Comeback Player of the Year award. Go to NFC. Did he win a Best QB award, possibly? Tell me, Colin Kaepernick with the freaking Eagles, dude. Josh Rosen at 10th best QB in the NFC. Very, very good season. 444, yeah, just ridiculous. 4,400 yards, 30 TDs, 14 receptions, a little much, but very, very good from a 65 overall player. He deserved a second chance. Cordero Patterson, 12 TDs, 833 yards. But what is his receiving? Russell Gage, 1,500 yards and 9 TDs. Russell Gage is underrated. I said it before the video started. Kyle Pitts, 6 TDs, 866 yards. Cordero Patterson, I expected a lot more receiving from him. Calvin Ridley was underwhelming. Okay, cool. Let's look into it defensively. Deion Jones with the most tackles on the team. Fosa Lukan, then A.J. Terrell, my top 3 players on defense, other than Grady Jarrett. Tackles for a loss, 24 for Grady Jarrett. Sacks, 9.5 for Grady Jarrett. Great season for him. He's still going to regress regardless, though. 3 interceptions for Island Terrell. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for A.J. Terrell. Great season. Even though we only went 7-10, there's a lot of improvement for this team that is needed, but very good season by Josh Rosen. Let's move to the offseason. Here we are with the season recap as the Titans beat the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, and it looks like there are no Falcons for the yearly awards, which is upsetting. Scout College players, don't need that. Let's look to see if there is any development upgrades. Come on, give it to Josh Rosen. He deserves it. Thank you. Josh Rosen does have star dev. Now I will be re-signing him. See, Cordero Patterson went from an 85 to an 82. I was about to say an 80. 85 to an 82. Even though he had a solid season, just wasn't there. Russell Gage, superstar dev now, which is amazing to see considering that I signed him on a super cheap deal. Kyle Pitts, 90 overall superstar X Factor within 1 year. Amazing to see. Grady Jarrett, superstar X Factor. Fosa Lukan with superstar dev. Great dev ups. Despite what you guys say, it doesn't matter. This team does need some work, definitely at the safety group, but we will definitely improve that in free agency. Josh Rosen is our QB of the future, whether you guys like it or not. I'm not going to be drafting a new QB because we do have Josh Rosen because I did give him a second chance. Hopefully you guys do like that. If you don't, boo-hoo, go cry about it. Anyways, NFC South, we are, yes. Antonio Brown retires. Antonio Brown is probably going to get cut from the Buccaneers for what he did with his fake vaccination card. Players ready to negotiate. I just can't accept you, Cordero Patterson. In real life, yes. In the game, no. No. Josh Rosen is a yes. And very cheap deal. Up the money. Super cheap deal. He re-signs with the organization. I can't believe I got a QB for $5 million a year for over 5 years. What an absolute steal. Anyways, guys, let's move into free agency. Here we are after free agency, and we got TYRONE Armstead at left tackle. Notice how he's a whole 14 overalls higher than TYRONE Armstead, has superstar development, and I'm only paying him $17 million a year rather than paying Jake Matthews $20 million a year, who is also 14 overalls lower than him and has star dev and not superstar. TYRONE Armstead is way better and way cheaper, $3 million a year cheaper. I'm facing a huge cap penalty from letting those guys hit the trade market, but I will fix it within a year or so it won't be a problem. Marcus Williams, we got as well, and AJ Cole on a dirt cheap deal as a punter. Improved team in the offseason, in my opinion. Just needed to get through one rough patch of a year. Let's get to the draft. JT Wiley is going to be my first round pick. Only normal dev, which is unfortunate, but very good speed, very good overall stats. I saw the B awareness and C zone coverage and C play recognition. I thought he was good enough. Apparently not. Jake Scott, though, on the other hand, looks a lot better. Hidden development, only 86 strength, which indicates he's kind of a low overall, but he is going to be another first round pick that we got from the Washington football team. 6'5", 224 pounds, age 21, right-handedness, that doesn't really matter. College out of LSU. Hidden dev is what matters because once you draft an O-lineman, you can never change their development despite how good they play. They can let up 0 sacks in their entire career and you won't get a dev up. It's really stupid. Ricky Franklin, my second round pick. He's a halfback, 5'11", 221 pounds, out of Texas. Hidden development. 91 speed is a good indication of him. And I saw the A ball carrier vision and B stiff arm. So I was like, A ball carrier vision's pretty good. So I drafted him. He's going to be my second round pick. So here we are after the draft. We have Franklin here, who is a 73 overall elusive back. Scott is only a 70 overall, but pretty solid. He's also a 70 overall tight end. This dude's apparently got hands at tight end. Yeah. Okay, 70 overall tight end and a 70 overall right tackle. Going to start over McGarry here. But also, the CPU picked up Camille Kendricks, 76 overall, 5'8". Looks like a speed demon. 97 speed. How did I not see this guy? The CPU is better at drafting than I am. I can't believe it, dude. What is his, I think he was a third round pick because I skipped it after the second round. Let's go to awards. Second round pick. I did not draft him in the second round at 15. I drafted a... What? I finished my draft. I got this guy. I got Gibson as my first second round pick. And then I got Franklin as my pick 15. I got Franklin as pick 15, or was he my first second round? I'm pretty sure he was my first second round pick. Yeah, pick number 10. And then pick number 15 was from the football team, and that was Gibson. Gibson was pick number 15. I'm guaranteeing that I picked him there. Pick 14. I guess we had pick 14 and 15. Okay. I'm glad I skipped it because I would have never picked this guy. Wow, he looks like a god. I'm going to start him in the slot. Franklin's going to start over Mike freaking Davis, dude. Get out of here with that. Can I cut him? Yeah, get Mike Davis off my team. Mike Davis is out of here. Force out of Lucan, Superstar Dev. Got all that. Marlon Davidson. Move up here. Barker, cool. And yeah, my first round pick, JT Wiley, is not that bad. 75 overall is not a bad overall. He just didn't get a dev, which is really unfortunate. Very good offense that we have here. Kendrick is a freaking beast. Josh Rosen with more protection, a good rookie running back, and another amazing receiver. Defensively, he's got a little bit of defense to help him in the backup here. Not really ridiculous. I'm going to start Marlon Davidson at defensive tackle, actually. And then, yeah, Wiley I do want as my second string and my slot player. Hopefully he can get up. Hawkins is all right for now. Gibson seems to be a pretty good second round pick despite him not having an overall. Anyways, guys, let's move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 3-4, third in the division. At least we're not last in the division, but not really much better than last year. I think it's the defense that is the problem. I mean, our defense is pretty bad still. Players ready to negotiate. Grady Jarrett needs to come back despite his age. He's only 29. I thought he was a lot older than that. Superstar X Factor, he does resign. Calvin Ridley does need to come back, even though he did get a dev down. His development did go down. 12 million a year is a little hefty for that, but I'll still take it. Chris Lindstrom, that's very cheap for what you are going to be. 8 million a year, and he resigns. Kendall Sheffield, no. Kind of forgot you existed. Everyone else here is a no. So apart from that, guys, hopefully we can make it to the playoffs. Let's move into it. Here we are in the playoffs, not making the playoffs, coming off a loss to the Browns. We are 7-10 once again. Yikes. Okay, third in the division this time. At least we're not last. Josh Rosen was amazing. It's not Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen is not the problem. And he's 9th for MVP. 5,100 yards, 35 TDs, and 20th pass rating. Not great. 10th best offense, 11th best defense. How? How are we only 7-10? 5,100 yards, 35 TDs, 13 receptions. He's continuing to get better. Way better than last season. Ricky Franklin, rookie year, 12 TDs, 811 yards. 3.3 per carry is kind of garbage, but 12 TDs and 811 yards is pretty good for a rookie. 1,200 yards for Calvin Ridley, 5 touchdowns. Russell Gage, 9 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Camille Reddick, Amazing rookie year, 1,100 yards, 8 TDs, and Kyle Pitts with the most TDs, receiving TDs on the team, with 12 receiving TDs and 1,000 yards. Camille Reddick is so good. Looking into it defensively, Deion Jones, 132 tackles. That's really good. Fosa Lokan with 129. JT Wiley with 109 tackles. Very good rookie season. Tackles for a loss, 16 for Grady Jarrett and 16 for John Kaminsky. Sacks, 8.5 for John Kaminsky. He seems to be better than Grady Jarrett somehow. Interceptions, 4 for JT Wiley. This dude was not a bust of a pick. Very good first-round pick. Marcus Williams with also 4. Fosa Lukan with 3. Deion Jones with 3. And then looking into the safeties, 1 for Fosa Lukan. Defensive touchdowns is 0. I'm sure Fosa Lukan will probably get Superstar X Factor, but JT Wiley should definitely win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Here we are with the season recap. Adrian Amos wins Super Bowl MVP as the Packers beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And Falcons, wow, Rookie of the Year goes to Ronald Heath with the Bears. Upsetting. And Camille did not win Offensive Rookie of the Year, which is upsetting as well. Looking into the roster for the development upgrades, Josh Rosen, Superstar Dev. Thank you. He's only a 75 overall, but he's a Superstar Dev. 83 overall, well, 78 overall with morale. Kendrick is a Superstar X Factor. Holy sh... What a god. This dude is so good. I said Kendrick. I mean Camille Reddick. Camille and Reddick. Sure. Camille Reddick is a god. He's already better and a higher overall than Russell Gage. Very, very good. Scott has Superstar Dev. He was the right first-round pick, along with JT Wiley. My God, Kyle Pitts is 95 overall without morale. I'm having such a good draft. Franklin's only a star dev, but that is fine. I will deal with that. Defensively, Kaminsky didn't get a dev up, surprisingly. Deion Jones got Superstar Dev, and JT Wiley does have star dev. He deserved it for sure. Very good season for a rookie. Yeah, all my picks were good. All of my picks were good, and it looks like the CPU did also have a very good pick in Camille Reddick. So happy he took him. I wasn't interested in receivers because receivers don't really dominate simulation too much. But anyways, guys, let's move in to the offseason. How are we even... We're already in the offseason. I'm stupid. I mean the re-signed players. Like, how are we only 7-10? This team... has so much potential. I understand we're a low overall with Josh Rosen, but top 3 passing yards and top 10 passing touchdowns, we shouldn't be having a problem here. We really shouldn't. Looking into the NFC South, Tom Brady finally retires. That should make the division a little bit easier for us. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the division is a little bit too hard for us. But everyone else here, I do not want to resign. So let's move into free agency. Hopefully I don't have a bunch of cap penalties, and I don't because my available salary cap is now $73 million. Nice. So remember how I said I would only be willing to pay Quentin Nelson or Zach Martin $20 million a year instead of paying Jake Matthews $20 million a year? Now I'm only paying Quentin Nelson $13 million a year. Yeah, that's right. 99 overall, superstar Quentin Nelson, 3 superstar development offensive linemen, Kareem Hunt in the backfield, and Franklin did solid. But I'm trying to get out of 7-10. Montez Sweat, superstar dev, paid him like $15 million a year. Casey Hayward, dirt cheap. Jimmy Ward, dirt cheap deal. Anyways, this team is freakish. Let's move into the draft. Tyrone Hooker, nice name. Hidden development, 6'4", 303 pounds. Very similar build to Marlon Davidson, 93 strength. I'm going to move Marlon Davidson into defensive tackle as well from his left end position. Moving back in there, I got Montez Sweat, and I do have Grady Jarrett coming off the edge. So very, very good pick for my first round, if I do say so myself. Once again, here we are with the overlook of the team. Dude, this offensive line is just so good. It just needs to develop. Josh Rosen needs to develop. How are you 75 overall, but a superstar dev? I need my slot. I don't want Russell Gage in my slot. I want Kendrick in it. Hooker, there's so many things that pisses me off. Grady Jarrett, you need to be a rush right end. Hooker needs to be my starting defensive tackle. By the way, he's a 76 overall, which is ridiculous. Very good. Very, very good overall for a defensive tackle. For any first-round pick, really. 76 is a very good overall. Let's go to defensive tackle for Marlon Davidson. He will now move into the interior offensive line. No, I want Hooker to start for sure. And I want Flowers to start on that outside right there. Very, very good team in my opinion. We just need to develop. I need to adjust the specialists. Russell Gage is not going to be my slot player. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I will see you guys all in the midseason mark once I fix this. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 5-1 top of the division above the 5-2 Bucks and 5-2 Saints and 4-3 Panthers. If we lose this, we swap positions with the Panthers, really. I'm sure we will move to 4th and the Panthers will move to 3rd. So that is a really important game. So let's look into the players ready to negotiate. Extremely highly contested division. Deion Jones, I do need to resign, of course. Probably one of the best players on the defense, if not the best. AJ Terrell here. Of course, I want to resign him. That is a pretty hefty deal, but he is very good as we resign him. Matt Hennessy does need to stay as well. Very cheap deal. I like to see that. And he resigns as well. Marlon Davidson. Very cheap. That's the only reason why I'm going to resign him. And yeah, let's up that money. And he is good. Jalen Hawkins, no. Everyone else here is just a no. So let's see if we can beat the Panthers. I do actually want to watch this to see if we can beat them, because if we can, it is huge. If we don't, it is a problem. We lost. Shit. Okay, so we only are in the second part of the division because the Saints won their game, which is okay. But we do also need to beat the Buccaneers. If we don't, we'll probably move to the 3rd or 4th, please. Lost 2 in a row. Major. Oh my God. Now we're at the bottom of the division. Please, can we beat the Vikings? I don't want to go 7-10 again. We have to. This is the 3rd season. We beat them. Still bottom of the division. Oh, this division is so hard. God. Let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, finishing at 9-8. Bucks take the division at 13-4. Saints go 12-5, and Panthers go 11-6. Coming off a win to the Texans. I'm so fed up with this. Our division is just so unbelievably hard that I just can't compete. Like, I don't... Our team is so good. Like, Josh Rosen is so good. Top 5 QB. 16th best offense. 28th. How did we get the 28th best defense? 4,600 yards, 34 TDs, 14 interceptions. Kareem Hunt, 11 TDs. And Franklin also had 11 TDs. Only 1,000 yards, though. Russell Gage, 1,100 yards, 9 TDs. And a bunch of good ball distribution. But God, dude, so irritating. Foster Luke on 126 tackles for loss, 17 for Grady Jarrett. Sacks, 12 for Montez Sweat, 10 for Grady Jarrett. Interceptions, 5 for Casey Hayward, 5 for AJ Terrell, and 4 for Jimmy Ward. How is this defense 28th? For 1 safety for Foster Luke and 1 for Grady Jarrett. Defensive touchdowns, 1 for AJ Terrell. How is this team? Like, we haven't made the playoffs once. Josh Rosen is not the problem. He is putting up numbers. It is so irritating. Let's get to the offseason. Here we are in the offseason. Well, after the offseason, either way. Cowboys beat the Jets in the Super Bowl. Okay. No Falcons for the yearly awards this year, which is unfortunate. Let's look into the roster to see what we have for development upgrades. Offensively, Josh Rosen did not get X Factor, even though he's a top 5 QB. He's only a 78 overall without morale, even though he's a top 5 QB. Doesn't make any sense. Calvin Ridley is regressing. That doesn't make sense. And O-line is God tier. Defensively, looking into it, I see... Oh, AJ Terrell did get superstar dev, which is awesome to see. Other than that, though, Hooker is only a star dev. Very unfortunate. Yeah, just L season. Very upsetting. Let's go into the re-signed players and the retirements. I don't think I'm going to get into free agency because I only have $11 million to spend, which isn't really that much. So I won't be able to sign someone big time at all. So I'll probably just use my pick in the draft, then get on with it. 2023 retirements. Let's see what we have here. NFC South. J.J. Watt and Bruce Arians do retire on the Buccaneers. That's cool. And looking into the players ready to negotiate, what do we have here? Jalen Hawkins, all these other players I do not care for. So apart from that, guys, let's move in to the draft. Adrian Sanders is my first round pick. I needed a right outside linebacker, and I did get one. I don't care for the rest of the draft. Hopefully the CPU can draft good. Let's get to the end of it. Here we are after the draft, going into the 4th and final season. And yeah, surprisingly enough, this team has not made the playoffs. Very irritating. And wow, this guy sucks. Terrible. At a UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Terrible. And of course, the CPU is retarded and doesn't move Grady Jarrett to rush right end, even though that is his position. So I'll just leave him there, so that way the CPU can just crumble by itself. I'm going to change my defensive scheme because that always seems to be the problem. I'm going to change it from Cincinnati to Miami, see if that helps. Miami usually is just up or down, so hopefully they are up this year because we definitely need it. So apart from that, guys, it is time to move in to the playoffs. Don't need to re-sign anyone in the midseason, so let's just skip to it. And we actually made the playoffs. Coming off a 25-22 win against the Saints, huge 15-2 first round bye. Thank you. I guess all the progress just came at once. Stats and awards here. Josh Rosen is a GOAT. GOAT. Best QB in the league. MVP Josh Rosen. Second best offense in the NFL. And defensively, we were 8th. Let's go. 5,000 yards, 43 TDs, 8 interceptions. Deserved the second chance. Kareem Hunt, 17 TDs, 1,400 yards. Ricky Franklin, 13 TDs, 481 yards. Still a good season. Russell Gage, 1,300 yards, 14 TDs. Freak. Kyle Pitts, 6 TDs, 1,100 yards. Calvin Ridley, 1,100 yards, 6 TDs. Camille Reddick, I keep calling him Kendrick. 11 TDs, not 1,000 yards. So he only had 1,000 yards in his rookie season that kind of fell off. But still, 11 touchdowns is not falling off. But still, his yards have been falling off. Fosa Luke on 131 tackles for a loss. 18 for Montez Sweat. Sacks, 12 for Montez Sweat, 8 for Grady Jarrett. 5 interceptions for Deion Jones, 4 for Lucan, 3 for Casey Hayward, 3 for Casey Hayward Jr. and AJ Terrell gets 2 interceptions, just a handful of ones for everyone else. Marcus Williams has really not been doing much. 0 safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns. Finally, we get a chance. I never play the wild card, and I never play the divisional. We don't have a wild card game, but I never play the divisional despite how badly we need it. 9-8 Buccaneers. I swear to God, if we lose, I'm going to be heated. Thank you. 42-10, blew them out. Let's see if we can beat the Dallas Cowboys to move on to the Super Bowl. So let's get into this. We're an 89 overall. They're an 88. 2 ridiculous teams facing off against each other, but we get home field advantage. Okay, and here we are in the conference championship against the Cowboys. 3-0. That's cool. 10-0. Nice. Defense is holding up really nicely. 13-0. Good job. 13-3. 20-3. Do not choke, please. 20-10. Nice. I didn't say do not choke because they're the Falcons. They're choking. 27-20. Come on. 20-30. Thank you. I was about to lose my mind if they choked. I wasn't saying do not choke because they're Falcons, but I was saying that just in general. 2 terrible games from the QBs. Josh Rosen was god-awful. But anyways, at least we get to go to the Super Bowl. That is what matters. Super happy. We so deserve it with this team. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 14-3 Kansas City Chiefs. God, I'm going to get bent over against Patrick Mahomes. Let's see the development upgrades. Josh Rosen. Oh my gosh, what a freak. Wins league MVP, so of course he gets Superstar X Factor. More than deserves it. I haven't really seen 84 overall without morale. Superstar X Factor, kind of interesting. Russell Gage has Superstar X Factor now. That is so sick. Surprised Kareem Hunt didn't get a dev up. Calvin Ridley's just been meh this entire rebuild. I understand he's had a couple 1,000-yard seasons, but yeah, I'm surprised he just hasn't had a dev up compared to the others. Looking into it defensively, surprised Fosa Lucan didn't get to X Factor this rebuild. Defensively, we look the exact same. So that is unfortunate, but I will deal with it. So anyways, guys, let's see if we can beat the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. This is already considered a successful rebuild because we did make it to the Super Bowl. 2 90 overall teams facing off against each other. Let's get into it. Here we are in the Super Bowl, 7-0 against the Chiefs. Good job, defense. Never mind. 7-7, 14-7, 14-14, 21-14, 17-21. Come on. 28-17. Nice. Up by 2 possessions. Up by 3 possessions. Up by 2 possessions. 38-24. 41-31. Wow, it's so much scoring. Super good Super Bowl. Anyways, we won it. 48-31. Josh Rosen is the future. Do not ever tell me that I was wrong in the comments. I was right. Josh Rosen's the Super Bowl. He was like a top 10 QB in the first year and the second year, then top 5 the third year, and he was the best QB, the best player in the league in the fourth year. 15-2 season. Ridiculous year. Oh my gosh, I was so right about Josh Rosen, and I'm so happy that I picked him up. Patrick Mahomes had a better passer rating, even though he had 2 interceptions, while Rosen only had 1 and 3 touchdowns. I guess it was the completions. Yeah, it was the completions for sure, and the yards. Rushing, Kareem Hunt had 2 touchdowns, 141 yards. He's probably going to win the Super Bowl MVP, but I was so right about Josh Rosen. If you made it this far into the video and you are listening now, please do comment that I was right, because you guys all know that I'm always right, because I'm just the best. I'm the best at rebuilds. You guys already know that. Despite me already saying, if you guys think it's Bengal the best at rebuilds, no, he's terrible at drafting. Go look at his draft. His drafting skills are absolutely terrible. I mean, I just drafted a 65 overall in the first round. But other than that, great drafting. Let's see who won the Super Bowl MVP. Kareem Hunt, Josh Rosen with the QB of the year. Underrated team, Falcons head coach wins the coach of the year, and Josh Rosen wins offensive player of the year as well. My God, what a great rebuild. First 3 seasons were kind of boring, I will admit that, just because we just couldn't get it done. But it does not matter because our team did finish on top. Kyle Pitts, 99 overall. Jay Scott is ridiculous at right tackle. Super good pick. We picked him up in like the first year and he only got to an 85, which is disappointing, even though he had superstar dev. Very, very good team. Super happy with the way it turned out. I hope you guys did enjoy this rebuild, and if you did enjoy it, make sure you like and or subscribe. And apart from that, guys, tell me which team you want me to do next down below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.